check. Hello? All right. Welcome back. First of all, that sound was a throat. And that throat belongs to John also Bennett, who also is the coordinator of our musical events that you've been experiencing today as well. So I also wanted to just kind of bear in mind or just kind of dedicate this day, if you will, to one of our summit presenters from last year, Dare Greenwald, who's a phenomenal activist, colleague, and really important person, and means a lot to people internationally in terms of her activist documentary work, who's very sick right now, and I know is probably following this online or is probably trying to get away from art and activism. I can't tell which. Both are reasonable. But I just want to dedicate that to her, who's a great personality. So. Okay, so to kick off this second part of the day as we head into the home stretch, I also got to just say, it looks like we're getting somewhere. The questions are getting tougher. The audience is getting more, they're zeroing in. The panelists are feeling that. And I think that's good. I think the question on privilege was great. It was making us dig into hard issues. So I want to keep that kind of attention and trying to get somewhere up as we head into the last part of today. So we're going to start this part with the regional reports. Oh gosh, I'm so stupid. Right, Kickstart. So we're going to start with Kickstarter, the online platform used for funding creative projects. Project creators can help to inspire people to contribute funding to their work by offering products, benefits, and artistic experiences via the Kickstarter platform. Kickstarter is represented at the summit by Perry Chen. Perry, come on up.
Hello? How's the sound? Good? Everybody had a good lunch? How many in the audience have heard of Kickstarter? If you don't mind raising your hands. Great. Awesome. Exciting. So my name is Perry Chen. I'm one of the 3 co-founders of Kickstarter. We've been open for a year and a half, and I'm going to just tell you a little bit about it over these next 8 minutes. I threw up this slide because I wanted to talk about the concept of patronage, which is something that many of you know a lot about. This is an image of Lorenzo de Medici. And the concept of a patron, while perhaps strongest then in the Italian Renaissance, still lives on today. And it still has many of the same constraints, which are the patron is a very wealthy individual. There are very few of them. And it is not easy to get their attention. And so how do we expand the capacity of patrons to help artists? And what we needed to do is we needed to find a way for everybody in this room to become a patron. And for patronage not to be about large amounts, but for patronage to be smaller bits. So that is what Kickstarter is trying to do. In the first year and a half we've been open, we'll celebrate that at the end of the month. We've had 3,000 projects fully funded. That's the amount that the artist is trying to attain, that they set. This funding has come from 250,000 different people, and in total we'll reach about $20 million next week. So, as you can tell by the numbers, the way it works is that there's a large group of people that are giving a very small amount of money. The median pledge is $25. The average is under $100. And so what happens is that these small amounts, things that are affordable to most of us, can equal the larger amounts that each artist needs, and in total can fund thousands and thousands of projects. So, real quick, I wanted to show what a Kickstarter project looks like. I guess many of you may have seen this before. This is a really great project, a favorite of mine, called Mysterious Letters. I don't know if anybody saw this one, but there's 2 artists, Lenka Clayton and Michael Crow, and they want to write a personal letter to everybody in the world. And what they do is they start in small towns. They went to a small town in Ireland, and they spent a few months there writing a personal letter to every single person in the town. I think it was about 1,000 people. And on the last day, they dropped all the letters off at the post office, and they disappeared. And the town went crazy. People were really scared. People were really excited. They would write things as if they knew you, like, hey, it was great to see you the other day. It was good talking about that thing. I'll see you soon, Michael and Lenka. And so then, the BBC came in and kind of did this post-mortem, and they moved on to another town in Pittsburgh. And so they raised a modest goal. They wanted to raise $2,000, and you see that they had 75 people, I think most of whom they didn't know, help support them. And they offered them kind of, copies of some of the letters or special editions for giving $25 or $50 or $100 or more. They had this really cool reward, which only one person picked up, which was that you would get 0.0001% of the Eiffel Tower, that they would go up to the Eiffel Tower and they would file off a piece of metal, and they would mail it to you. So they're creating their own economy. This is not a loan. This is clearly not an investment. They're trying to combine, and we're trying to combine this concept of patronage and commerce into this one thing where artists can create their own economies, define what those things are that they're willing to offer to an audience, and for them to creatively offer them. One more project I want to show you. This is a New York artist, Molly Dilworth, who just completed a large piece in Times Square of the ground. And this painting for satellites is she wanted to raise money to continue her project of painting rooftops in New York City and expand her efforts to other areas of the country. And she offered things like, small practice paintings and unframed editions. Again, things usually $25, $50, $100, $200, $500. And again, she reached her goal. It was also a pretty modest goal of $3,500. And so, those are just two projects in a kind of very large ecosystem that exists on Kickstarter now. These are projects from art and music and food and design and other creative fields. And that's what we work in, just creative fields. We don't allow charity projects or causes. We thought that creativity deserved its own space and did not need to compete with charity and cause projects in the same site. And we're trying to drive this theme of that this is not philanthropy. This is a new way for you to kind of engage with an audience and create this kind of new form of commerce. So the sizes of these projects, they really range. Our biggest project was $200,000. We have projects where people are raising $100. Sometimes they're raising money even when they don't need money because they're using this as a window to engage with an audience. We, Kickstarter, the organization, we're not a nonprofit. We are a business. There's 14 people who work full-time. We're down on the Lower East Side. And the way we make money and stay in business is we take 5% if your project is fully funded and nothing if it's not. So who are these people that are giving money to these projects? Well, people come to Kickstarter, over 1 million people a month come to Kickstarter to look at projects. However, the momentum always starts with the artists themselves. Whether it's your email lists, Twitter, Facebook, etc. Just really getting the word out to the people in your network, the people who love you, the people who follow you, their friends, and the big internet. And these things kind of travel because if people can see you're passionate about your project, you have a very clear goal, and you're offering them things that show that you respect their time and their money, that's really what people are looking for. Again, the fact of taking down these price points from being a patron of tens of thousands of dollars to where it's such a big part of money, a big size of money that's really that meaningful. If you're asking people for smaller amounts, $5, $10, $20, people can just decide that they really like what you're doing and they want it to come to life and it deserves to come to life. And what you're getting is not just the money, you're also getting the energy of that person, the ability to talk to that person about your work, and for them to kind of follow along as you develop your project, as it becomes a story, as it comes to life. So, this is kind of the greater concept that money might be the least important thing you get out of this. One of the things we have on the site is the ability to update all of your supporters. So, as the project progresses, as you hit milestones, if you just have some things you want to say about your work, you can broadcast this by email to all the people that have supported your project. And it's a really great way for people to learn about your work, not just the project they're supporting, but beyond. And then everybody likes to see what they've helped come to life. So It's a simple concept, we hope. We try to do a very good job of explaining this, a lot better than I just have, on our website, which is at Kickstarter.com. If any of you have any questions, come on and hit the contact button and contact us. There's very few of us, so we'll get back to you very quickly. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at Kickstarter. And that's it. Thank you.